Welcome back, Cripsy Donut community. What is going on? My name is Mike. I am the Barbarian Brownie. Yes, we are back at it, dropping bricks, testing knives. We are on the hunt for the perfect everyday carry knife. Well, we have something new today here. And when I say new, well, we haven't yet tested a fixed blade. Because of course, a fixed blade is definitely something that's part of an everyday carry. Well, we've got the LT Wright. And I've been excited to test one of these out because I want to get my hands on one of these as myself. And now I get to find out, should I and will I? If you haven't seen any of the videos, we are on the hunt for the perfect everyday carry knife. So we run our knives through a test called the ECURT Index. The ECURT, everyday carryability, culinary, utilitarian, ruggability, and that torture test. And I just cringe every time because, man, torturing a knife on purpose is just, it's scary. But we're doing it so we can test it for you guys, so you can find out, is this knife going to be, what you want to put it through? And will it withstand what we want to do with our everyday carry knives? Let's just be real. We're going to do that so you don't have to. And speaking of you, I just want to thank you. The community has been absolutely awesome. The overwhelming feedback we get on these videos, I love it. And we want to keep that feedback going. So make sure to hit that subscribe button, like the video, and hit that notification bell so you can get reminded every time one of these videos comes out. We're trying to get these videos every other week. And of course, if you got any ideas, make sure to comment down below about what knives you would like to see get tested. With that all being said, let's talk about the LT Wright. Category 1 is the everyday carryability. Number 1 with weight is super light. It is super light. What that means is it's going to be easy to carry, easy to basically have in the pocket if you do want that, or because it is a fixed blade, you've got a sheath that you can carry on your belt. I personally like to carry a fixed blade up front in the right pocket and something to slide out here. I would throw a lanyard on there, so I think that's going to make it easier to carry and being it's light. So giving the weight a score, well, I'm going to be honest with you, the weight, an 8, it's great. Actually, no, I'm going to lie. I take it back. I'm going to give it a 9 because it is super light. Ease of carryability being light. And being it's light, of course, well, it's small. And that means the size of it is going to be kind of, it's going to give up that little bit of room for holding in the hand. So it is a 3-finger knife. And of course, you can get your thumb all the way up there. That is kind of a plus side for when it comes to ease of carryability. Of course, because a fixed blade, you don't want to be carrying something massive. You got a machete or something, or a sword for crying out loud. That's going to be hard to carry. So I want to give the size a score, but I want to give a reason before I give you my score. Ease of carryability. Being it small, it's going to get an 8 because it's just super easy to carry. Well, going down though, I have a feeling that size might give us a little bit of a problem going down the road, but we're talking about the everyday carryability part. How easy is it to carry? So got to give it good points because that off the bat is going to be good. Going forward though, that size might hinder. So ease of use has to do with the deployment. So how easy is it to deploy? Well, boom, it's out of the sheath, super easy. It just, you don't have to flick it open, you don't have to worry about thumb touch. Obviously that's gonna get a 9 because it's just boom, out. I think if you had a lanyard on there, it'd be even easier because of course the size, but you with these sheaths, you don't want to keep them kind of hidden in there, but if you had a lanyard, boom, right out of the pocket. I mean, can it deploy any faster than that? No, it can't. Let's talk about the materials now. Micarta, I like me some micarta. I like it. I like micarta, let's just be real. And A2 is a tool steel, and it's known for having a good corrosion resistant and also holding a very sharp edge. That's a win. Maybe what else do you need? You don't want your knife to rust and you want it to be sharp. Pretty good if you ask me. I don't know much about A2 tool steel, so I can't talk a whole lot of it. I mean, I'm used to something with Magnica, S30VN, those types of steels. So this is new for me to really get my hands on it. As far as materials and understanding, micarta is a good one. The steel, from my understanding, is good. I'm going to learn about that today here. Of course, materials being in this leather sheath. Solid. I mean, you could just see the work putting into this stuff. I have to say materials are great. I'm going to give it a 7 because, well, are there better materials? I think there is, but we're going to find out down the road. So you may want to see at the end of the video if that 7 is really what holds true with those materials. Let's just be honest. And when it comes to the price, the LT Wright has a great reputation for, you know, what they have. $95 is what this is going for. I think that's a good going rate price. $95 is a little bit up there, but for what you're getting, I think that's right on the alley of where, you know, what you'd expect to get. We'll find out, is $95 a lot, or is it maybe worth more than that? We'll find out. You gotta stick around, of course, and see how the test goes. So I'm gonna give the score a 7 because $95 is up there, but then again, it's probably worth that. So we'll find out. Let's test the knife out, you know what I'm saying? Let's take this upstairs here. I'm gonna take it to the kitchen. Let's go make a sandwich and see how well it works with the culinary uses. I'll see you guys upstairs. The culinary test is one of my favorites, and the reason it's one of my favorites is because, well, when it comes to knives, it doubles as, you know, a utilitarian knife. You're gonna, at one point, probably cut some food with it. And being this is a Bushcraft knife and a fixed blade, it just makes sense to see how well it does work. You know, cutting through some bread, some cheese, meat, tomatoes, and just see how well it chops. So this is one of my favorite ones, and especially with a fixed blade, it just makes sense for food. So let's go ahead and make a sandwich. All right, we got the knife nice and clean. Let's go ahead and cut through some meat here. Of course, to keep the test consistent, go and leave the plastic right on there, cut right through it. Wow, that I cut the meat right out of there. Okay, I'd say here sliceability on that meat looks pretty darn good. And of course, being it's got a small blade, I am kind of running into a little bit of troubles, of course. You can see that happening here. It is extremely sharp though. That I can attest for. Extremely sharp. The actual length though is really giving me a little bit of a problem though. Having kind of some issues getting it to be a nice clean cut, but it's working. It's cleaning. So it works. It's very sharp, very, very sharp. I like that. I'm not having too much trouble as far as the cutting ability goes. The size of the blade is giving it just a little bit of trouble. If I can get that on the camera, that's really about it. The cutting ability here, so I'm gonna go ahead and give that a 7. It cut extremely good. I just wish it was just a little bit longer. Let's go ahead and slice a tomato here. A little bit of trouble with the squishiness here. It might be the tomato, but it's really cutting through really well. A little bit of trouble down there. Okay. As far as the size of the blade goes, another problematic, of course, it's just a little bit small, but for everyday carry, I think this is really nice. It's slicey, but yet I think this tomato's a little old. Maybe I got a bad tomato. Let's try it again here. So cutting through a tomato here, I'm going to go ahead and give that a 7. It's just a little bit short to be cutting a tomato. All right, go ahead and cut the cheese here. We got something that's really sticky. Some of that Velveeta. I thought this would be a really good test. Some sticky it is, the harder it is to cut. And this is really soft. It's actually doing pretty good. I'm not getting a really good sliciness, so I need a little thinner edge there, I think. All right, that should be enough cheese for this. Cutting the cheese, I would say I'm gonna go ahead and give that a 6. No sandwich is complete without the bread. This smells so good. All right, cutting ability is absolutely outstanding. Once again, it's so short. Obviously, those are some small pieces of bread. I need bigger pieces, so we got to get deeper into this piece of bread here. Oh man, I wish you guys could smell this. It just smells so good. All right, so cutting ability is great. Size, once again, I'm gonna go ahead and give that a 7 because it's doing a good job. I would use this knife if I had to. I'm actually quite enjoying myself cutting through the bread, so I'm gonna go ahead and give that a good score because it's working. Just the only problem, once again, is the size. I mean, it's getting caught on there, so if you see the cutting edge is right there, but I'm using this much of the blade, so that's where it is definitely has its downfall. So now to have a balanced diet, you've got to have some vegetables here. So let's go ahead and get some carrots here. Don't need the ends. All right, let's go ahead and see how it chops. All right, so first off, the cutting when I'm going like this, not so well because it's a little small, but chopping through here, and this is a perfect camp knife, I would say. So cutting and chopping are two different things. The choppability, it feels really good ergonomically in hand. As far as chopping goes, at the end of the carrot, that works great. But as far as where we run into a little bit of trouble, like I said, is these larger parts, trying to, do that roll cut, just because of the actual length of the blade. But as far as chopping ability goes, no, that was actually a lot easier than I expected. So chopping ability of the LT Wright Patriot, gonna go ahead and give that a 7. It did very, very well. So we're gonna go ahead and average out the scores for here and see how well this is. In the meantime, I am hungry, so I'm gonna make me a sandwich here. All right, we're in the garage and we're going to check out how well this knife actually works. We cut some food with it, and now it's time to cut through some rope and some other things that you might use on your day-to-day usage. So excited for it. I hope you are. Let's just dig in right away and check out the utilitarian use of this knife. All right, so the first thing we got to do here is cut through some wire. And why not cut through some wire that you might actually use? So first off, wow, that was actually really easy to cut. Didn't know that. Okay, so we're gonna strip some wire and see how well it works. And as far as how sharp it is, that is absolutely working really well. And I'm getting better at this, I think. And the trick is to not cut all the way through and strip those other wires. And they're underneath there, I guess you could say. And let's see if I did a good job or not. Nice, okay. Looks like we might, nope, we didn't, okay. All right, so now we've got all of them stripped out now we got the main piece off. Now we can strip the smaller ones, see how well that does. And, all right, a little bit of wire left over. Okay, let's go to the next one here. Okay, there we go. All right, go to the last one here. Oops, too far. So being it's really slicey, all right, there we go. Now we got that wire stripping. Gonna go ahead and give that a good score. In all honesty, as far as stripping wire, it does well. It does pretty decent for how sharp that bad boy is. So cutting through some wire did really well. Go ahead and give that a score here of a 7 because, well, if it was the actual tool, it would work a lot better, but didn't work best as the tool of itself would be. So we're cutting through some rubber hose. This is, just a hose for water, that is. So it is a sealed one. Oh man, I think the size is the problem here. All right, it cut really well actually, but I think that's just the size here. Using that tip because I can't quite get to the belly, but if you stab it in there and you can cut around, yeah, this is definitely a good tool. Just wish it was just a little bit bigger. Otherwise it'd be a lot easier. Oh man, working hard for this one, I guess. All right, the hose cutting did really well here. In all honesty, I'm gonna go ahead and give that a 7. It did exactly what I expected it to do. The only hindrance is, well, because of the size. All right, let's go ahead and see how it scrapes. That knife blade itself looks like it do really well here. Oh yeah. This is actually doing really well. And Oh, a little cutting going on there. All right, that worked really well. Let's go into step 2 here. All right. So if you're maybe, like I said, trying to get a sticker off the vehicle, be careful when cutting towards yourself, but I'm just doing it to see here. All right. I would say doing pretty good scraping that sticker off, in all honesty. All right, the scraping honestly did pretty well. The blade shape did pretty decent. As far as scraping that off, honestly, did pretty darn good. Give that a 7. All right, bring in the chewy box here and see how well it cuts the chewy box up. Got some extra garbage in there, obviously for the honey-do list. Gonna just cut this off here really quick. Oh my goodness. All right, so that was really, really good. Let's go ahead and see how it works here. Pinch grip kind of cut. Oh yeah, very good. Come in closer here, come in, watch this. All right, so a little pinch grip. Does pretty darn good. For how small this is nice. This is just slicey. I think the only downfall I'm running into is it's just too small. But man, look how slicey that is. Gotta say though, it is so good. Wow. Only hindrance I've got is because of the size, but cutting through cardboard, win, huge win. I'm gonna give that a 9 because it just freaking worked. Wow. Not even a question. You know how I like to do? I like to stack it up always and kind of see how that works. Yep, this is a beast. This is just an absolute pleasure to cut with. It works. A little dull on the tip there, okay. But the belly, oh man. Let's go ahead and stack it up again here. And, oh yeah. Yeah, absolute beast when it comes to leather. Did absolutely good. Go ahead and give that a 9. Let's go ahead and put the goggles on because, well, safety first. We're gonna do a little tip prying here. And of course, I'm gonna put the gloves on because, well, it's a small blade and sometimes it's a little, well, don't want to hit my knuckles. It's cold out and I don't want to, it hurts, okay? Forgive me. All right, so now we're gonna go into the ruggedness here and do a little bit of tip prying here. See how well it does. Not a problem. Oh yeah, right through the wood. This one's really deep. Not a problem. We got a double one. See if we can do them both at the same time. No problem. I wonder if I cut through that staple. No, you can't really tell, but this one here, it has 4 of them. Really just for testing purposes here. I don't think this is gonna have a problem at all. That tool steel, that A2 shouldn't have a problem at all. But I put those really in there, really deep. Let's just take a look here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Not a problem. Yeah, tip prying, no problem at all. Did really well. And if you take a look at the tip, no rolling whatsoever. Did absolutely great. I'm trying to look at to see if I had any problems. I don't see any issues at all. So yeah, tip prying is a win. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 9. I mean, would it be easier if it was like a needle nose or a pliers? I don't know, probably. All right, let's go into the feather sticking. This is where I think this is gonna absolutely shine a ton because, well, it's a bushcraft knife. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So right there, you can see there's already starting to become a good kindling. I'll get the cardboard out of the way. All right, let me get a little more for you. Oh yeah, this is shining like a absolute beast. We got a little kindling there for a fire. Yeah, this is doing great. Let's go ahead and do the feather part. I'm not a pro, but I'm gonna try. Yeah, if I was starting a fire, I would absolutely love using this knife. Why? Because, well, it's just shining. That steel is working good. The way it's, the grind is, the edge, everything. This is what it was made for, a good camping knife. Like I said, I'm not a pro at doing the feather sticking, and you know, if I went out to Georgia Bushcraft, where this knife came from, I'd love to get taught what the trick is. Like I said, I just do it for fun camping, not for survival. It just works. So all that would be great for a fire. Yes. So feather sticking, that's what it's made for. I would say it shined absolutely like a beast. Go ahead and give that a 9 because it worked. You know, you don't need a massive knife for feather sticking, but we may when we goes into some other things like maybe the bataning. But feather sticking, absolutely a win. All right, let's get the rope cut here. See how well it does on cutting rope. And this is the blade killer. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I've not seen any knife yet do as good as this did. Holy smokes. That's the best I've seen one do. Was that a fluke? I don't think so. That was just, I've not seen a knife do better. If this was bigger, this would absolutely be almost a 10, 9.5 because of the size. Oh, that's the only hindrance I've got here. Man, and it's clean. I would say the best I've seen one of the knives do yet so far. I even cut the zip tie in the middle of that. So the best I've seen a knife do, absolutely. Man, and just look at it. It's still doing really well. I'm gonna go ahead and give that a 9 because it did better than any other knife I've tested. If it was bigger, probably could be a 10. Probably could be a 10. And we're gonna move right into, of course, the zip ties. I already cut one there, so you saw that. All right, no big deal. This is kind of a pinch because it's smaller. No problems, no problems, all right. So this is my contraption that I made basically for this test. It's literally a bunch of science, you know. Oh yeah, look how good that works. So the science behind, no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so really it's just 2 pieces of wood. I like to do kind of that press one, or press, cut, whatever you call it. No problem there. And then here's the one that, you know, I find myself doing all the time. You do that, put it in there, and then you twist it. Oh yeah, no problem. Okay, wow. This is an absolutely shining knife when it comes to these tests right now. It is doing absolutely great. The zip ties, 9.5 because it's just shining. The size, I'm not even noticing the size of it. So yeah, absolutely shining. We're gonna do a little bit of a torture test. It's technically not a torture test. I do this last because, well, it pains me to do it, but we're gonna try to cut through that coat hanger. Let's see how that A2 steel works. So the coat hanger is known for being a blade killer. So let's see, 1, 2, 3. Not a problem. Oh, tiniest little bit of rolling. Hardly any rolling at all. Can you even see the rolling? Hardly any at all. Yeah, that did absolutely awesome. A little bit of damage there, nothing major, you know, nothing that can't be repaired really simply. It took like 3 or 4 hits. Somebody go back and rewind to how many hits did that take. But yeah, I gotta give that a 7.5 because it did great. It did do a little bit of a damage, took 3 hits, a little bit of force. So yeah, it did awesome. If it was bigger, more leverage, it would do a lot better. So we're gonna go ahead and take all the scores, combine them, and see how well it did. I'll be honest with you, I'm pretty thrilled with this. The only problem I have is it's just a little bit small. Well, now we're gonna go ahead and push the knife to its limits. So what I've done here is I have put 3 screws in here, and we're gonna use this tool now as a screwdriver. It's no longer a knife, it is now a screwdriver, and see how well it does. Will it break the tip? I would say for the size, this is really nice. I'm using this like, honestly, I think like a regular screwdriver would work. And it's coming out really easy. I'm not having any problems. I'm glad I have gloves on though. All right, no problem there. Pound it in there because I don't want to get my hands in the way here. Let's just see how well it goes back in there. I always make this joke, but could you build a house with this knife? Well, yeah, but it would suck. But that's not what we're testing. We're testing this as an everyday carry knife. And look how well that's going. I'm getting it back in there. Okay, yeah, that'll go all the way, no problems whatsoever. And how is the blade? Is there any damage on there? Tiniest bit, but you can't even tell. And can you see the, I don't know. That is just, yeah, that's kicking butt. For screwdrivering, it's a huge win. I go ahead and give that a 9 because, well, it didn't damage it, hardly touched the blade is scratching, so yeah, did great. Now let's just see how well this batons. Of course, its size is definitely gonna be a problem, but it's a fixed blade, so the best part is we don't have to worry about a lock breaking, so I think it's gonna do real well. Yeah, not a problem. Let's go against the grain and make it a little harder for us. All right, no problems at all. It is, I could use this all day long. The only hindrance is the actual length of the blade, but that's what this knife is for. I could build a small fire right now. It is no problem. The only issue is the size. Batoning though, nothing broke, nothing at all scratched. So batoning, of course, is a win. I mean, it's the only issue is the size. So I'm gonna give it an 8.5 because, well, it's size. So I'm not gonna be able to get through this log, of course. We've seen it tried. And I'm not even gonna bother because, well, it's just too big. So yeah, definitely a win. All right, let's bring on the bolt here. Because it's basically a tool steel, it should do all right, but let's just give it a try here. Let's go. All right, 3, 2, 1. All right, so it's stuck in there, just fell down. Okay, yeah, so that looks pretty decent. I mean, a little bit of rolling, we can put that back into place. Not too shabby. Did it break the bolt? Let me find that bolt here. It actually probably did the best I've seen do. I think that's the cut right there. Yep, that is the last cut. So if you see right there, that's the cut. It actually did the best out of all of them. I'll be honest with you, it didn't cut through the bolt. So yeah, but did it damage the blade? A little bit. Scoring on that's gonna be a little bit difficult, but I'll be honest with you, I mean, I'll give it a 1. I mean, it didn't break, but I gotta figure out a good scoring method for that one because, well, it didn't break, but it did a little bit of a damage. It didn't cut through it, but it cut better. So I'm just gonna go ahead and give it a 1 because, you know, it tried and it didn't break in half. All right, let's see if we can dig with anything. The ground is still pretty frozen, but I have some pretty good luck thinking this is gonna work pretty well. You can see the frost line down there. I would say though, digging with this thing, the ground wasn't frozen. It feels good in hand. It's not bending when I get in the frozen dirt. Worked pretty well. I'm gonna give it a 7. Gosh, maybe a 6.5 just because it's a little wider, it'd be easier, but a good, it feels good. It's those handles. Those Micarta handles are really nice. So it's like -1 out right now. It actually feels like it's nice out with that sun just beaming down. So good day to be out here torturing knives, I guess. Can't get that to stand up. Do I use the sheet to hold it up against? I guess so. All right. I got my steel toes on and got a brick. Let's go. All right, about head high. 3, 2, 1. Shattered the brick. Yeah. Okay. I don't see any damage. Oh, the Micarta did break. Darn it. So the Micarta did break. It did break. darn it. Dang, just going through these bricks like crazy. Does it count if I kind of put the brick together, make it big or heavy? Yeah, that'll work. All right, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, it's just shattering the brick, but I think we can still use that knife. So what do you call that? I'm literally running out of bricks. Look at the brick pile. Sheepers. Let's talk about this here. So it broke. As far as usability, it's still usable. It just broke a little bit of micarta. It's still going to be sharp in my opinion. What do you give the test that, you know, it didn't fail? I mean, the brick literally shattered. So, I mean, how do I score that? And how do I give it a real rating? It broke it, but it held up to it. And I need you guys' help down in the comments. What's your opinion on that score here? What would you have given that? So scoring a fixed blade and how well that did, I mean, this just, it works. I mean, I'm gonna just put this back in the pocket or, you know, on the belt and keep using it. I need your guys' help down in the comments down below as far as what you would score that. Luke and I will have a discussion and see kind of how we think, but we'll total all those scores together. Check it out here. Guys, if you haven't done so, make sure to hit that like button because these knives are getting expensive. $95 for this one. Are you gonna go ahead and get yourself one of these? If so, let me know down in the comments for that below as well because I wanna know, should I buy another one? I'm thinking that if this was bigger, I'm gonna have to get a larger one in my opinion. So it's a pretty neat knife. I am enjoying it, or I should say, I enjoyed it. We'll see, I'll still use it here, still usable. But guys, that's a wrap for the ECURT test this week. Everybody have a great rest of the week, and as always, stay crispy. In the beginning of the video, I talked about this being a blade steel that holds a good edge, safely to say that. The other one I said was it's, you know, corrosive resistant. Well, I do want to show you that just the stuff we've done so far, it does stain a little bit. I don't know if you can see that on the camera here, but it does stain. So yeah, take that as you know, your own thoughts, of course. But I just wanted to kind of just shout that out and let you know, see what you think of that. To me, it's kind of cool. It's already got some true patina. Yeah, I like it.